I've been running Facebook ads since 2014, consulted with over 2,000 brands, helped over 250 clothing brands in the last 12 months alone, and have made over $100 million with Facebook ads. And I'm gonna walk you through the exact strategy on how to set up your Facebook ads today to see predictable success with your business. Okay, so number one, before we even get into ads, you need to follow a proven strategy, a proven process. So this is our OSO, or Optimized Store Owner Content Scaling Strategy. Probably could be labeled to however it would look like, but essentially if you're spending $100 a day, this is based off of a DCT campaign, which is Dynamic Creative Testing, which is going away. Some people still have it. We actually still have it on a couple of accounts, probably 50% of them. They're moving to what's called flexible. I'll talk about that here in a second. And this verbiage to this Google Doc will update and will change from that. Now this says, if you're not spending $100 per day, you can use this strategy, but only use it one concept at a time. Now, the very first thing you have to do before you just jump into Ads Manager, and we'll talk about that here in a second, is to have an actual strategy to jump into something. So number one is selecting the focus, okay? So is it evergreen, meaning is this a product that is not necessarily a drop or a limited quantity or anything like that? Is it something that you can run for a long period of time, i.e. denim? I'm a big fan of people who are selling, and you can't really see me, there's denim shorts on. What up? Shout out to the jorts people out there in the world. But you can wear denim shorts, or you can wear pants, or denim pants year round, and you can wear denim jackets most of the times of the year. So denim is a great category to run as evergreen. Do you have a deep stock on it? Maybe you're doing print on demand, maybe you have deep stock of something, because if not, it's gonna affect things. Have we had success selling this before? Do you have past data? I always tell people, when you're doing your first set of research for ads, go back the last 365 days, if you have that much data. If you do, great. If you don't, go back as far as you can. What are the top selling products? If you go into Shopify, it will tell you, hey, here's my best selling products over on the left-hand side, like how many did I sell of something. And if you're top 2 or 3 in one category, awesome. Number 4, would this product or collection be a good introduction to our brand? Some products are like so deeply ingrained to your philosophy and the way that you do things, it doesn't really make sense for somebody who has no clue who you are, that are just looking for just a great product. Ask yourself that question. Now, I'll leave this here and you know, you guys can see this, or you can pause, take a little bit deeper look here. Number 2 is to find an offer. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth throughout this video as we just continue to speak. But finding an offer, okay? Now, I'll bring up a document or a spreadsheet that makes all of this very easy, but you can do buy 3, get 1 free. That's a great one. Or buy 2, get 1 free. You can do bundle offers, whatever it may be. And I was watching a video actually really recently. It was from Russell Brunson. He started ClickFunnels. He's got a bunch of books, traffic secrets, .com secrets, etc. But he just talked about people who are selling things, i.e. clothing. They are a commodity. The only thing that makes them different is the offer that they perceive, the potential customer perceives in the marketplace. What that means is that if you are just the only commodity thing that you have to beat somebody at is to cut the price, well then it becomes a race to the bottom. And if you're chasing somebody to the bottom, it does you no good to be the second least expensive product. It does make a lot of sense for you to be one of the most expensive products, but also just add a ton of value to people. So be thinking through your actual offer. The third one is creative concepts. This is where a lot of people start, but concepts do not sell anything. They catch attention. So you must have a hook, and then you go into a story, and then you must have an offer. You've got to have a hook. So this is one of the very first pieces of creating a really good Facebook ad, Instagram ad, insert anything. For this video, we're talking about Facebook ads, which I guess I really should just say meta ads because it's Facebook and Instagram, but most of you guys are searching for Facebook ads, so I'm gonna keep it that way. But these are, for example, let's see here, I think there's some founder stories inside of here. This is like a top of the funnel type of approach. I'll pull this up here. And we continue to add into these. So these are all people, I know the Cuts founder, these are all founders that are telling their story about how they started the company, why they started the company, and just examples of what you can do to be a little bit more organic and natural in front of your potential customers to reach them. So that could be, right, when you think of concepts, I like to test 3 concepts at a time. So you could test reviews, UGC, Impress. Okay, so you have, and I'll write this on here. We're gonna come back to this board here in a second because I'm gonna write out a few other things, but we'll just go here, right? So there's 3 things that you wanna look at when you're creating these concepts and testing, rather. And so you want to imitate, right? So you look at something like this on this sheet here, you imitate them. Then you can iterate your own variation, and then you innovate your own thing A lot of times people find something that works and they're like, nah, I'm gonna go innovate something else, versus just continuing to double down into what actually works. So just so you guys have it over here, right? So number one is to imitate, okay? Imitate, then iterate, and then finally is to innovate. In that order. Sometimes people don't even get to innovate. So that's number 3 in this process. And number 4 is the implementation. And don't worry if you're this far into it and you're like, how do I, okay, don't worry, just comment the word scaling down below and I'll send you this document so you at least have it and you don't have to try to memorize everything. And then I promise you at the end of this video, don't worry, we are gonna jump into Ads Manager. I am gonna walk you step by step. But unlike a lot of other videos who just jump into it, they don't give you the context into the video or the context into the actual ad account. So then you don't understand why something works or does not work. This actually will make it a little bit easier for you. I promise it'll be much easier to do it this way. So step 4 is implementation. So you have your launch date, you have monitoring results for the next 2 to 4 days, then you have reviewing results, making changes, and then you literally rinse and repeat for an ongoing. Okay, so you go back through, you run new tests. Things are winners, you keep those, you get rid of the ones that are not doing well, you test, and then you test again. And those are the people who are very successful at ads. And that is probably the most important part here, because if you skipped over this piece, you're not going to be as successful if you just jump directly into Ads Manager. So please don't just jump there. When I first started running ads, we used a lot of interest targeting, and we also used multiple campaigns to run different parts of the funnel, right? You've heard like the top, middle, bottom of the funnel, and just ran new campaigns. But you don't need to do that anymore. Let me show you guys how you can avoid that and make your ads even easier with a simple setup Meta actually prefers that you use. But first, I just wanted to say a quick hey, howdy, and hello. If you don't know me, my name is Aaron, and alongside my business partner, Christian, we are the co-founders here at Bit Branding. We specialize in helping clothing brands grow and scale online, just like you guys right here, clothing brand owners. Whether you're a boutique, private label, doesn't matter. In the last 12 months, we've served over 250 clothing brands, and I would really appreciate it if you would give us a nice little like and subscribe so you do not miss on any of our newest content. It is all for you guys, and we've been doing this for a very long time. We drop new videos every single week, at least 2 of them. I mean, if you do this in the next 3 seconds, I will give you the best song from 1999. And you can drop yours down there as well. This was actually my very first CD, so curious what your guys' was as well. Okay, so we have this basic breakdown, all right? So we got the top, middle, and bottom of the funnel, and you're wondering, okay, how do I set up the campaign, right? Because this is all gonna be one campaign. They're all one campaign. They could technically be, I'm probably gonna set them up as like, these are different, like think of them as like different ad sets. And again, this will make a little bit more sense. So let me draw this out. This will make a little bit more sense, right? So you have one campaign, and then you've got ad sets, which is basically, could be like your top, the middle, the bottom of the funnel. And then you have ads that are down below it. Now, without going crazy in depth, because we're going back and forth between flexible and DCT, I won't go too much into this, but the ad set level is basically, it's either gonna have the creative or it's not really gonna change too much, honestly. It's like, this is like, it's gonna be broad. What is broad? You guys have probably heard that, maybe if you have not. So this is age, gender, location. You don't need interests, you don't need anything else, right? I always say like, okay, if you're gonna go after women, like definitely like you wanna put women here. If you're going after 18 to 35-year-olds, then put that there. And then location, right? If you're going to the United States or Australia, Germany, Netherlands, wherever you're going after, right? So age, gender, location. Okay, but then you're like, how do I create top of the funnel content? You let the content do the targeting. So you do not have to say, I am creating a top of the funnel campaign or like a middle of the funnel and just retarget everybody from my email list. You don't have to do that anymore. Your top of the funnel can be an intro into the brand, right? So in new intro level type of content, it needs to provide a little bit more of a background. Always tell them could be like a story brand example. So, hi, we are X, Y, and Z company. For example, I am Aaron from Totally 90s Kid, and we exist to do X, Y, and Z for this type of reason. We help these types of people, and we create this type of content for these people. So it's like we're introducing ourselves. You could also have an amazing offer that's going after basically a brand new customer as well. So like the top of the funnel can be a little ambiguous with that sense, but I just think of it as like, how can you introduce yourself or your brand? What would they need to know? Like the purpose behind it, the existence is a great way to lead into something like that. So that's an example. We'll get into some content here in a second, what that actually looks like, but that's one example. The middle of the funnel, right? It can work too, but now for the middle of the funnel, we have benefit or they need to be educated. There's a brand that is targeting me. Their underwear, they're called Nads, and great ads that they have. They have a lot of middle of funnel type of content because they're trying to get people to break the trends from their normal like underwear briefs purchases. And they're talking about all the problems. They're talking with UGC to like give social proof. They're talking about all of their features and benefits. And then they're doing a bunch of proof like, hey, because people wear ours, their life is better. So again, it's a great brand doing a ton of middle of the funnel. Where do you need to meet people at to get them to take action? UGC. And then the bottom of the funnel, pretty straightforward at that point. A lot of times this is a static image. I usually, not all the time, but most of the time for top of the funnel, I'm leading with a video. And then middle of the funnel can be video or image. And then bottom of the funnel is typically a static image that tells the full story, right? So the image should show everything. Again, Nads has a great example. So it's on here, I actually did save it. September 25th, 2023, so almost running for a whole year now. If you look into it, it tells the full picture. It shows you guys that they are briefs, boxers and briefs, organic cotton, and then break down all of the copy here. So really good example of an ad that's working right now. It's been running for over a year, telling the full picture. So for the bottom of the funnel, a lot of times if you haven't done an offer yet, this is a good place to do an offer. It does not mean it is a discount. These are the ones who are like, if somebody's informed, they've seen you a ton of times, now they just need literally that right hook basically to take action and to make a purchase. But all of these can be done from one campaign, which simplifies your setup. And again, we'll go through that here in a second, but it's very, very easy for you to do. It makes it much easier than whenever I had to do it. And thank goodness too, because it was a lot of work and I don't know if I would want to be doing that right now. It's just a ton more work to do that. I'd rather spend it on the research. Please don't run ads like I used to. I used to write all of my copy inside of Ads Manager. I used to build everything out before ever doing any research. I used to just build it inside of Ads Manager. I had no clue what I needed to do to become profitable. I'm gonna walk you through each one of these steps that I made mistakes on so that you guys do not have to in this video, so you do not have to waste years like I did, because I did it for a very long time and I don't want you to do that. But first, hold up one second. I want to say that if you're a clothing brand owner and you want to jump into specifics and nail down the problems that you may be having with your business, maybe you had a little bit of success, maybe you've had a lot of success, you've now hit a plateau where you don't know how to scale up with your ads or organic doesn't work. If those are your problems right now, you should literally just jump on a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There's limited spots, as you can probably imagine. So go find a time that works best for you. Check out the link in the description down below. We'll see you on the other side. As you can see here, I'm gonna build this from scratch, but there is a campaign, it's labeled conversion. You could label it however you would like. I'm gonna go back and forth between certain campaigns, but I just wanna show you this one first. One campaign, 3 ad sets that are going on right now, and then multiple ads. So these are a lot of different carousels, running a DCT at this point, but just different carousels and kind of set up there. And then DCT as well. Okay, so this is a new ad campaign. I'm gonna build it out, and I'm gonna show you how I would have built it out. This is one is starting at $30 per day. We're gonna ramp it up, and I always tell people, look, you don't have to start at 100, you could start at 200, you could start at 30, but for this, we were taking over this new account from somebody else, and just, they didn't have any success previously, so I don't wanna tell Facebook that we're good with spending a bunch of money and not being profitable. We also were just trying to test creative and offers. This is labeled as top of the funnel sales because we're going after top of the funnel sales. That's literally our main objective. We label things either we start at 101, 100 just looks a little bit odd, but go 101, and then we go after what our actual breakdown is. So 102, this one was without an offer. So 101, okay, let's go through this. This was bullet points. These were for button downs. This was for a performance line. So these are button downs, performance line. This one right here is the same thing, new concept 102, going for website purchases, and then broad, so age, gender, location, website purchases, and then for a specific line. So the label for that line is here as well. And then we have 2 offers. There's been a change here. So $5.69 for a purchase today. Woo! Take that all day, every day. Obviously, it's early in the day. So we have one for a hat offer and one for a BOGO. So buy one, get one. The way you would test this first, right, is to find a winning piece of creative, and then you would test variations of the creative, and then you could test offer. But if nobody was taking action, then we test the offer. CPMs were good. The link click-through rate, not great. So it's like, maybe we have a good offer, but we also should update the creative, which we are about to do. Again, it's not spend a ton of money. I think even yesterday, it's like, okay, how did it do yesterday? Got one purchase for 33 bucks. Okay, so, and it's basically being pushed all to this one campaign. So it's like, it's not enough here that I would actually scale it up. But let's go ahead and build this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and click create. I would hit sales. The only thing that you should be going after, and I get this question a lot, is should I go after something else? Should I go after awareness? No, you need to go after the purchase if that's really what you're trying to do. At the end of the day, people are like, I want traffic. Well, no, the end goal is purchase. Even if you get traffic to your site, and you're probably wondering, if I get traffic to my site and then I get email addresses and then I send people email addresses to eventually get purchases, I know, I thought the same thing. It's not profitable. It does not work, not even short-term or long-term. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars to test out this strategy. It doesn't work. Go for purchases. All right, so go for sales. We still do a manual sales campaign. Advantage Plus does work. It is a good option for some people to simplify it, but I have found that you need a lot more data and you've been running ads for a long period of time to be able to make that work long-term. You'll have quick results in the beginning and then it will die off. What we do is a manual sales campaign, at least for right now while it's still available to us, because we do like control over them. Literally gonna do top of the funnel sales, because that's what I'm gonna go after, and that's what you guys should be going after in the beginning. I need new customers. Catalog, we're not doing anything with that. Advantage campaign budget. Basically, this is the old CBO, or campaign budget optimization, which means at the campaign level, it's gonna distribute budget across the ad set. So however many ad sets you have. If you do not start with anything more than $30 a day, then you probably only need to have one ad set, maybe two. But anything less than that, I really wouldn't. If you're gonna start at $100 a day, maybe you could do 2 different concepts, 3 at most. But honestly, I wouldn't test a bunch of things at once. I would try to figure out and give Facebook the data with the best performing type of ads and then scale up from there. Your call. But let's just say we're starting at $100 a day. This is actually new, the bid strategy, or at least the breakdown like this is a little bit different. But they're actually, I think they're gonna get rid of daily budget and they're gonna start doing weekly budget. So you gotta be running ads for a certain period of time, but just that way they feel a lot more confident, like, hey, I'm gonna overspend today to get you the results. I'm gonna keep it within budget. Maybe your budget's $300 a week. I'm gonna keep it within budget, but I may spend $150 in the first day because I know I can get sales for that. And then if they can see that, they'll also be like, hey, you're more likely, us as the customer for Meta, more likely to spend more money. So we'll see if that's gonna happen. A/B testing, we don't need to do any of that. There's no reason to jump on anything there. We're gonna go to the ad set level. Okay, the ad set, we're going for website. I'm not doing website in shop. I am using the ads pixel, Shopify. So your pixel, however it's labeled, this one was set up before us. And then I am going for purchase. And then I do have CAPI set up, which is conversion API, which basically just sends as much data back from your website to Facebook as possible. There is an option eventually with Triple Whale to send this data that you're getting from your site back to Facebook completely. So like, think if you were around pre-2021, this is kind of how it was working, and then iOS issues kind of mess with that. So we may be able to get back to that situation. I don't know. If you don't know what Triple Whale is, you can check it down in the description below. We are partners with them. It is a link. We do get a small commission or whatever, but like, go look at them or anybody else. It's up to you. But what they do really, really well is they do the attribution software, and I believe they're the only company right now that will eventually be able to pass back 100% of data, which is going to be a game changer for anybody who's running ads. It's going to be an unfair advantage. So you heard it here first, people. Or if you're already using Triple Whale, you heard it from them first. So the ad set name, I'm going to change this. That's just labeling. I just copied it over. So I'm going by the ad set, so I know very simply what is the systematic way of going through this. So it's 102 with offer, broad, website, purchase, and then this can be labeled however you would like. And then this is objective, goes for purchase. Dynamic creative, typically we turn this on. This is going to be more like flexible. You can find out more about flexible as well here. Not much there. It's going to say to 7-day click, 1-day view. Unless it's a sale, we pretty much say that way. Otherwise, you can do a 1-day. A lot of people get confused on the attribution windows, but basically the attribution means like if somebody saw or clicked on this ad within 7 days or 1 day of viewing it, they're gonna count Facebook as the reason that they made the purchase. And it's also a window to optimize. So try to get as many purchases as possible within that period. 7-day is a great way to go right now because you get more data back to Facebook and it keeps as much in that window of time. Previously, I used to do 1-day click because I wanted those sales to happen every single day. However, it lost a lot of data. So if you're spending a buttload of money, that probably made a lot of sense. If you are not, like, and when I say buttload, I mean like $10,000, $20,000 a day, then maybe 1 day would make sense. But for the most part, for everybody else, 7-day click, 1-day view. The start date, I don't know why it did that, but not doing this past date. I'm not going to end this. It's going to be a daily budget. I'll never end it. I don't need an end date. I do that for like Black Friday, Cyber Monday. That's about it. Audience controls, don't worry about that too much. You can see the audience controls in advertising settings. So you click this button, all right, just so you guys have it as well and you know what I'm talking about. You can change this as well. I don't think that you need to, but it does give you some options for it as well. Locations, minimum age, okay, for us, right, let's just say we know it's 25. You can also, there used to be an option, switch to original audience, where I can actually go in and choose age, gender. I am going after women, and then there is no demographics. There is no other breakdown here, okay? So I'm gonna leave that the same, age, gender, location. Scroll on down, then we have the available ad creatives. You guys can import your ads. It may look like this, it may look a little different. They're getting it to the ad set level. I'm wondering if they're just gonna get rid of the ad level. So it's literally gonna be top of the funnel, like campaign, and then the ad set level, and then not do anything on the ad level. I have no clue. But you can hit import the ads. You'll have the ads imported. You are going to use flexible right now. If you don't have the DCT option, you can pull this in with flexible. What's cool is you can go ahead and add 3 pieces of creative, so images or videos. You'll have your primary text and your headlines. One thing that I do, and I already had this pull up as well, is I took this, and you can see my prompt here that I had. So I took this variation of copy from something that our campaign manager wrote, copywriter wrote, and I took it as a variation. I said, okay, give me the best ones and create something that is a higher converting option. And it gave me this copy here. So we got long copy for top of the funnel. And then at the end of this, I said, okay, so which of the 3 are the strongest? And then it redefined it even more. And then I said, okay, what would make this better? So then we did a limited time option. We just finally got down to the bottom one here. And this is the copy that we came up with. It is actually what was working. So let me just copy this over for you guys so you have it. So primary text right in there. Perfect. Again, I write everything else out, and technically I wouldn't do it in ChatGPT. I would write it out on a Google Doc, or I'd paste it in a Google Doc and throw it over there, but this works as well. So I have this copy written on ChatGPT. I'm good with literally anywhere else. It could be in your notes, just somewhere else besides Ads Manager. And then I asked it for headlines. So now my headline is free hat with purchase. And I can add other options. So headlines, always like to do one winning headline from the past if you have it, and then one new one. So I got one piece of creative that's kind of like who we are in the product, and then I'm gonna add in a second option as well. It's just kind of a variation of just straight buying. And then I have 2 headlines. So I have 2 primary text, 2 headlines, 3 pieces of creative that are already on here. Very simple. I accidentally deleted one of them. When you do 3 sets of creative, they should be very similar with slight tweaks, so you can actually do a test here. Now, what we're testing here is more so the offer, not necessarily the creative. The creative is going to be very similar, but the headlines, the actual offer here is going to be for the free hat. So free hat with shirt purchase, that's what we're actually testing here for this particular ad. You need to put in your URL, so SEO, okay, display link. Advantage creative optimizations, I let them do it. Sometimes it cuts off. Always do shop now. And I have actually seen Learn More do a little bit better too, just depending on if you're doing like some education. Seems less salesy, but also does work once you get them in there. Play around with that on your own. But I do make sure to do offline events, especially if you have a brick and mortar location. I do have triple well set up, so you grab your triple well tracking mechanism, UTM as they say, inside of the URL parameters here. And then really, at that point, this is it, okay? If you were used to a regular ad, you would just do this one ad, one ad, one ad. You would do it not as a flexible, so you would create one and then you would duplicate it. Let me show you that way. Flexible, the only downside is that you actually can't see the results as easily, which is the problem that we have with flexible right now. So real quickly, everything else would stay the same, but instead I would just go here with an ad that I just created with the ad offer, and I would hit and I would do quick duplicate, and then I would fill it out the exact same and change the copy and the creative here as well. So it'd be done in a new ad. So same campaign, same ad set, but then I would do a different ad that is duplicated if I cannot and I do not want to do flexible, so that I can see which one of these is actually doing the best. That's the downside with flexible. It's great for lower budgets and high budgets to find the right combination. The downside is right now, at this particular time, you cannot see the difference between what is working and what is not working. Right now, we're going back and forth between the two of them. So just being honest with you right now, flexible is great, but you can't really see why it is doing great. Kind of up to you on that point. So now you know how to set up Facebook ads effectively. One of the biggest problems people come into later is like, I just want to spend money on ads, and they don't know how to make organic work. I created a video just for you on how to use Instagram organic to scale your brand right here. Go watch that next. It's super easy, guys. Go follow it step by step to absolutely enhance what you are doing with your Facebook ads. All right, y'all have a great rest of your day. I will see you next time. And P.S., make sure you subscribe.